everyone, and welcome back to Chill English Channel. I'm Sophia, and I'm very happy that you are spending some time with us today.
And I'm Jake. Whether you're relaxing at home, traveling to work, walking outside, or enjoying a quiet evening, thank you for listening.
We hope this conversation helps you improve your English in a calm and natural way. As always, we will speak clearly, naturally, and at a comfortable speed for English learners.
Today's topic is something that almost everyone can talk about. It's personal, interesting, and full of wonderful stories.
We are going to talk about our homeland.
Yes, we will explore what our homeland means to us, how we describe it to other people, and why it stays in our hearts no matter where we go.
Before we begin, here is a simple question for you to think about while you listen.
If someone from another country asked you about your homeland, what would you tell them first?
Would you talk about beautiful mountains, busy cities, peaceful villages, or delicious food?
Or maybe you would talk about the people, the traditions, or the feeling you get whenever you return home.
There is no right or wrong answer. Every homeland is special because every person's experience is different.
And today's conversation will also help you learn useful English expressions that you can use when introducing your country to other people.
This is a very common topic in real life. You might meet someone while traveling, studying abroad, or speaking with international friends.
One of the first questions people often ask is, "Where are you from?"
After that, the conversation usually becomes much more interesting.
People become curious about your culture, your hometown, your traditions, and your daily life.
So today, we want to practice talking about these things in natural English.
Sophia, let me ask you something. When you hear the word homeland, what is the first thing that comes into your mind?
That is a beautiful question. The first thing I think about is not a building or a city. I think about a feeling.
A feeling?
Yes, it is the feeling of belonging somewhere. It is knowing the streets, understanding the local jokes, recognizing familiar smells, and hearing voices that sound like home.
I like that answer, because many people think a homeland is only a place on a map.
Exactly. Of course it is a place, but it is also connected to our memories.
I completely agree. When I think about my homeland, I remember simple things.
Like what?
Morning markets, children playing outside, neighbors saying hello, and the smell of fresh bread coming from small bakeries.
Those little memories often become the strongest ones.
Yes, sometimes we remember ordinary moments more clearly than special celebrations.
That is true. Everyday life creates many quiet memories that stay with us for years.
Sophia, if someone had never visited your homeland, how would you describe it?
I would probably start with nature.
Why nature?
Because I believe nature creates the first impression. I would describe the green hills, the rivers, the changing seasons, and the peaceful countryside.
That already sounds relaxing.
Then I would talk about the people.
What would you say about them?
I would say they are welcoming. They enjoy spending time together, sharing meals, and helping visitors feel comfortable.
Hospitality is something many countries are proud of.
Yes, and it is one of the easiest ways to understand a culture.
When people invite you into their home, you learn much more than you can learn from books.
Exactly. You see how families eat together, how they celebrate, and how they talk to each other.
I remember visiting a friend's hometown many years ago.
Really? What happened?
His family insisted that I eat more food every few minutes. Every time I finished something, another plate appeared.
I know that situation very well. Sometimes saying, "I'm full," does not change anything.
Not at all. They smiled kindly and said just a little more.
And suddenly, a little more became another complete meal.
I think that happens in many cultures.
It certainly does.
Besides food, what else helps people understand a homeland?
I think stories do.
Stories?
Yes, every family has stories that are connected to a place. Maybe a grandparent grew up in a small village. Maybe parents met in a certain city. These personal stories make a country feel alive.
That is a wonderful point.
Facts are useful, but stories create emotional connections.
Instead of saying, "My country has many mountains," you could say, "My grandfather taught me how to hike in those mountains."
Exactly. Suddenly, people can imagine the experience.
That also makes conversations much more enjoyable.
And easier to remember.
Let's explain one useful word before we continue.
Good idea.
The word homeland means the country where you were born or where you feel your roots are.
Some people also use the word home country.
Yes, both expressions are common, although homeland often sounds a little more emotional.
Another useful word is heritage.
Heritage means the traditions, culture, history, and values that are passed from one generation to another.
For example, traditional music, local festivals, family recipes, and even old stories can all be part of your heritage.
Another useful expression is to be proud of.
If you say, "I am proud of my homeland," it means you have positive feelings about it and appreciate its people or culture.
Of course, every country has strengths and challenges.
Yes, loving your homeland does not mean believing it is perfect.
It simply means recognizing the place that helped shape who you are.
I think that is a very healthy way to see it.
Me too. We can appreciate our homeland while also continuing to learn from other cultures.
Because traveling and meeting new people often teach us something valuable, and at the same time, it reminds us of the special things we already have at home.
Sometimes we only notice those special things after spending time somewhere else.
That happens quite often. Distance has a funny way of making familiar places feel even more meaningful.
It really does. And when someone sincerely asks about your homeland, it becomes a wonderful opportunity to share not only information, but also a small piece of your life.
Jake, you mentioned that distance can make our homeland feel even more meaningful. Have you ever spent a long time away from your home country?
Yes, I have. A few years ago, I lived abroad for several months because of work, and it changed the way I looked at my homeland.
In what way?
Before I left, I thought I knew my country very well. But after living somewhere else, I started to notice many things that I had never really appreciated before.
That happens to many people. Sometimes we only understand the value of something after we are far away from it.
Exactly. I missed the simple things much more than I expected.
What were some of those simple things?
I missed hearing my own language every day. I missed familiar food, local expressions, and even the sound of people talking in the street.
That is interesting because those things seem very ordinary when we are at home.
Yes, but when they disappear, you suddenly realize how comforting they are.
Did you ever feel homesick?
Yes, especially during holidays. Homesick means feeling sad because you are far away from your home and the people you love.
I think almost everyone who has lived abroad has experienced that feeling at least once.
I agree. One evening, my family sent me photos of everyone having dinner together, and I smiled while looking at them, but at the same time, I wished I could be sitting at that table.
Family meals can be very emotional when you are far away.
They really can. I even missed my uncle telling the same stories every year.
That is funny because when you are at home, you probably think, not this story again.
Exactly, but suddenly I wanted to hear every single story.
That shows how powerful memories can be.
Yes, home is often connected to people more than places.
I completely agree. We usually remember conversations, laughter, and shared moments much more than buildings.
Sophia, have you ever had a similar experience?
Yes, I once traveled for several weeks, and although I enjoyed discovering new places, after some time I started missing little things from home.
Such as?
I missed my favorite local cafe, the park near my house, and even my usual morning routine.
That is something many people do not expect.
Yes, we often think we only miss big things, but it's usually the small daily habits that stay in our hearts.
Habits create a feeling of comfort.
Exactly. When everything around you is new, familiar routines become very valuable.
Living abroad also made me realize that people were very interested in learning about my homeland.
Really? What kinds of questions did they ask?
They asked about traditional food, famous places, national holidays, and daily life.
Were you able to answer all of their questions?
Not always. Sometimes I realized that I did not know enough about my own country.
That is very honest. I think many listeners can relate to that.
Yes, we grow up surrounded by traditions, but we don't always stop to ask why they exist.
So what did you do?
I started reading more about my country's history and talking with my grandparents.
Grandparents often know wonderful stories.
They really do. They told me about traditions that had been passed down through several generations.
That must have made you appreciate your heritage even more.
It did. By the way, heritage is a useful word. It means the traditions, culture, history, and values that we receive from previous generations.
Heritage is not only about old buildings or museums.
Exactly. It also includes family recipes, local music, traditional clothing, festivals, and even the stories people tell.
Speaking of traditions, what is one tradition from your homeland that you really enjoy?
I love the holidays when the whole family gathers together.
What usually happens?
Everyone brings food, children play together, older relatives tell stories, and nobody seems to be in a hurry.
That sounds very peaceful.
It is. I think the best part is that everyone forgets about work for a while and simply enjoys being together.
I love that idea. Spending time together is becoming more valuable in today's busy world.
Yes, sometimes the greatest gift we can give each other is simply our time.
In my family, preparing the food is almost as important as eating it.
Really?
Yes, everyone has a small job. Someone cuts vegetables, someone prepares dessert, someone sets the table, and someone usually tastes everything before dinner.
Let me guess, you are the official food taster.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
That sounds like a very important responsibility.
I take it very seriously.
I believe you.
Preparing food together creates many happy memories because people laugh, tell stories, and help one another.
Those moments often become stronger memories than the meal itself.
I think so too.
Let's teach another useful word.
Good idea.
The word community means a group of people who live in the same area or share something important, such as culture, traditions, or interests.
In many countries, the local community plays a very important role.
Neighbors know each other well, children grow up together, and people help each other during difficult times.
In other places, people value more privacy, but they are still kind and respectful.
Every culture has its own way of building relationships.
That is something we should always remember when talking about different countries.
We can compare cultures without saying one is better than another.
Exactly. Every homeland has something beautiful to share with the world.
Another useful expression is local customs.
Local customs are the traditional ways people behave in a particular place.
For example, how people greet each other, celebrate important events, or welcome visitors.
Visitors often find local customs very interesting because they show the personality of a country.
Sometimes even simple things can surprise tourists.
Like what?
Maybe dinner is served much later than they expected, or people greet strangers more warmly than they are used to.
Or perhaps everyone offers them another cup of tea every few minutes.
Yes, and somehow your cup is never empty.
It feels almost magical.
Hospitality can be very powerful.
I think hospitality is one of the best ways to introduce someone to your homeland.
I agree. People may forget what they saw, but they usually remember how welcome they felt.
We have talked about memories, traditions, food, and community. Now I want to ask a question that is a little more personal.
I'm ready.
If someone asked you, what is the best thing about your homeland, what would you say?
That is not an easy question because there are many things I could choose. But if I had to give only one answer, I would say the people.
Why the people?
Because people create the atmosphere of a place. Beautiful buildings are wonderful, but kind people make you feel welcome.
I completely agree. A warm smile or a friendly conversation can leave a stronger impression than a famous tourist attraction.
Exactly. I think visitors often remember how they were treated more than what they actually saw.
That is a lovely thought.
What about you, Sophia? What would your answer be?
I think I would choose the feeling of familiarity.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that everything feels natural. I know the streets, I understand the local expressions, I know how people usually communicate, and I never feel like a stranger.
That feeling is difficult to describe, but many people understand it immediately.
Yes, Home is the place where many things make sense without needing an explanation.
Of course, every homeland also has challenges.
That's true. No country is perfect.
But loving your homeland does not mean ignoring its problems.
It means appreciating the good things while also hoping for a better future.
I think that is a balanced way to see it.
Me too. We can be proud of where we come from and still believe there is always room for improvement.
Sophia, do you think traveling changes the way people feel about their homeland?
Very often, yes.
Why do you think that happens?
Because traveling allows us to see different cultures, different lifestyles, and different ways of thinking.
And then we naturally begin comparing them with our own experiences.
Exactly. Sometimes we discover wonderful new ideas that we would like to bring home.
And sometimes we realize that we already have many wonderful things.
Travel teaches us appreciation in both directions.
That is beautifully said.
Thank you.
I also believe meeting people from different countries makes us more open-minded.
Definitely. We begin to understand that there are many different ways to live a happy life.
Different cultures may have different customs, but people everywhere want very similar things.
They want peace, friendship, good health, meaningful work, and time with the people they love.
When we remember that, the world feels a little smaller.
And a little kinder.
Sophia, imagine that one of our listeners meets someone while traveling.
Okay.
The other person asks, "Tell me about your homeland." What advice would you give?
I would say, don't try to give a history lesson.
That is good advice.
Instead, speak from your own experience.
Can you give an example?
Of course. You could say, my hometown is surrounded by mountains, and I loved walking there with my family when I was a child.
That sounds much more natural than simply listing facts.
Exactly. Personal stories help people connect with you.
You could also describe your favorite local food and explain why it is special to you.
Or talk about a holiday that your family celebrates every year.
Or describe your favorite place to relax.
The conversation becomes much warmer when you include your own memories.
And remember, your English does not have to be perfect.
That is very important.
Communication is about sharing ideas, not speaking without mistakes.
Every conversation is an opportunity to learn.
And every question is a chance to practice your English.
Before we finish today's episode, let's review some useful vocabulary.
Great idea.
The first word is homeland.
Homeland is the country where you were born or the place where you feel your roots belong.
The second word is heritage.
Heritage includes the traditions, culture, history, language, and values that are passed from one generation to the next.
Next is hospitality.
Hospitality means being friendly, welcoming, and generous toward guests or visitors.
Another useful word is community.
Community is a group of people who share a place, culture, or common interests and support one another.
We also learned the word homesick.
Homesick means feeling sad because you are away from your home and the people you care about.
Another useful expression is to take something for granted.
It means not fully appreciating something because it is always there.
We also talked about local customs.
Local customs are the traditional ways people behave, celebrate, greet others, and live in a particular place.
Finally, we used the expression to feel at home.
It means feeling comfortable, relaxed, and accepted in a place.
Here's a simple speaking exercise for you.
Try answering these 3 questions in English.
First, where is your homeland?
Second, what is one thing that makes your homeland special?
And third, what is one tradition, place, or memory that you would love to share with a visitor?
Don't worry if your answer is short.
Even 2 or 3 sentences are excellent practice.
The most important thing is to speak with confidence and keep improving little by little.
Before we say goodbye, we have one final question for you.
If a friend from another country visited your homeland tomorrow, where would you take them first? And why?
We would really enjoy reading your answers.
You can write, "I'm your name from your country, and I would take my friend to..."
It is a wonderful way to practice English while sharing something meaningful about your life.
And who knows, your comment might inspire someone else to learn about your country one day.
Thank you so much for relaxing, learning, and practicing English with us today.
We hope this conversation gave you useful vocabulary, natural expressions, and more confidence to talk about your homeland in English.
Remember, every country has beautiful stories. Every culture has something valuable to teach, and every person has experiences worth sharing.
Keep listening, keep speaking, stay curious, and enjoy every step of your English journey.
We'll see you again very soon here on Chill English Channel.
Until next time, take care, keep practicing, and goodbye.